The Lords of the Fallen is setting its sights on being at the center of the future of the Souls-like genre. They may even usher in a new era of the genre with innovation, a new approach to onboarding players, map design, as well as the Unreal 5 engine. There's a lot of games promising to come out in the Unreal 5 engine. This is actually going to be one of the first and bigger titles to come out in UE5. We've already covered why I think this game could actually sneak up on other Game of the Year contenders and join them on the stage. It may even stand a chance to win, although the shadow of Elden Ring may make that difficult. Seeing two similar games in style and genre win back-to-back is potentially unlikely, but I wanted to look at all the new info since their Dual Worlds video appeared in Summer Game Fest, and ever since then, I think people are taking this game a little bit more seriously, especially in light of the fact I previously said what I said about Game of the Year. Maybe people are finally coming around to seeing why I said that. Now, I put all the good information right here at the beginning of the video. It's a longer video because it's a live stream. I do sort of an opening monologue, and then I discuss it with the live audience. So make sure and hit subscribe, make sure and hit the bell button so you don't miss my content. The Lords of the Fallen could lay the foundation for the future of Souls-like games. They have a lot of ambitious aims and innovative takes on the genre in their upcoming title. First, I would like to look at the details about the Dual Worlds approach to the game. I also want to look at opinions about this, including my own, about what this could do to the game. Second, I want to look at their comments about onboarding, verticality in the map design, and how they believe this is their own version of what Dark Souls 4 would have been. Lastly, I do want to touch on the Unreal 5 engine element of this. There is a lot of doubt about the big push to Unreal 5, and this is going to be one of the first big titles to land in the UE5 engine. So first, what do we know about this dual world system? First and foremost, what does it mean? Well, according to VG247.com, essentially the whole world will have two main versions, one of the real world, so to speak, and the other being the Umbral Realm, a spiritual realm that has different paths, enemies, and treasures to discover. Now, I think this is a great way to get a lot of capital out of your map, out of your areas. I've talked about that before, like making sure you keep your entire game relevant, making sure you get a lot of capital out of all the things that you build. And seeing that Elden Ring, I think, did a brilliant job with this with respect to map density. They didn't just make a massive map. The map was dense. There were entire massive caves, dungeons, underground sections sort of baked into the crust of the Elden Ring map. And the dual world approach will obviously, I think, affect gameplay, and they give details on how that will work. More from VG247. It seems we'll be using an umbral lamp in order to travel between these two worlds, with two main ways to do so. Now, before we look at the two main ways that you can do this, I'm curious if there'll be any Metroidvania elements to this game. Am I going to be going back to areas that I maybe couldn't get to, reach, or wasn't strong enough for? Is there going to be an element of retread, or is there going to be more of an interwoven experiences? Are we going to have strong reasons to leave an area, return, and come back? We don't yet know, but how exactly do you switch between the worlds? Well, the first way is pretty simple. You die. If you're killed by an enemy, you'll be resurrected on the spot into the Umbral Realm as opposed to the regular world. Now, this is obviously, I think, an interesting take on the Souls-like genre. Rather than death leading to sort of the immediate you died and then you respawn and you've got your place where you go back to, you have a second chance. You basically have two lives in Lords of the Fallen, and you can sacrifice one of those lives willingly to go to the Umbral Realm. And you may want to do this. The lamp is going to be showing you different things, right? You may see treasure. You may see a pathway that you would like to take. According to VG247, you may not want to stay there, however, very long. Quote, word to the wise, you don't want to spend too much time in the Umbral Realm, as the longer you do, the more spectral terrors turn up to try to kill you again. Now, before I look at some of the opinions on the dual world approach, I want to say a quick word about the lamp. They show it in the trailer and they give some details. It's more than just some way to see into the other side. You can actually use it to, quote, flay the soul from an enemy enemy for high damage attacks. So it can be interwoven into the combat to land some pretty heavy attacks. Now that's going to be another element that makes this game stand apart and is innovative within the Souls genre. It's not a spell, it's not something that you summon, it's an actual mechanic attached to you pretty much at all times. You can even manipulate your surroundings and move stuff with it. There was a section where they were kind of showing like a puzzle and they were dragging something in order to get across a chasm. Now, folks are already weighing in on how this will be a big aspect of setting the game apart. GameLife.com said, the mechanic adds a refreshing twist to the action RPG genre, introducing new levels of immersion, environmental storytelling, and tactical impact on combat. Now, I have to agree. This could be, I think, a pretty big innovation that Souls fans embrace. Targeting Souls fans has its own risk, I think. You definitely can't claim this sort of copy and paste approach. People will get a little tired of that. Now, I don't think that's what this game is setting out to do, and I think the dual worlds and the lamp is one way that they're doing that. GameRant claims Lords of the Fallen Dual Worlds could put a new spin on the Souls-like formula, and they argue that, quote, this could well be where the game looks to differentiate itself from the plethora of other Souls-like games in the market. I actually think this is a really good point. It's not just the actual Souls games and Elden Ring that you're competing against. There's a lot of games in the market now in that Souls genre. We even have Lies of P on the horizon. They actually have, I think, a really good paragraph about how the genre has so much pre-baked into it. There's a lot of things and a lot of tropes of things that people expect in a Souls game. Quote, by now the usual Souls-like mechanics are extremely well known. Interconnecting maps, tough robust combat system, challenging boss fights, and checkpoints that restore health, as well as respawn enemies, are a well-standard expectation from any game in the subgenre. Even games that are loosely borrowing some of these elements, such as Respawn Star Wars Jedi games, are classified as Souls-like games. If you've not played those games, you're well aware of, you go and rest and everything respawns and the maps are interconnected. You're looking for shortcuts. And I actually like that more and more games are utilizing some of these ideas. But it definitely can become a trope, right? You're like, yeah, here's my bonfire, here's my shortcut, right? You almost have Souls scaffolding in your brain if you've ever played one of these games. And GameRant ultimately concluded that if implemented correctly enough, Lords of the Fallen's use of dual worlds could really set it aside from the abundance of other Souls-likes out there and elevate it from the long dormant franchises that are out there to a new level. I actually agree with this take. It furthers my belief that the Lords of the Fallen could be a Game of the Year contender. Elden Ring was praised for taking the open world genre further while simultaneously elevating their own game type. If Lords of the Fallen can bring a fresh and innovative take to the genre, it has a fighting chance to at least get a Game of the Year nomination. Now, what about innovation? What are they doing differently in other departments? And what about the claims that this is basically supposed to be Dark Souls 4? Now, they said that. I'm not saying that, okay? First, just to restate it, we've covered this in other videos. If you haven't caught our videos about how they're going to be approaching onboarding, they're going to do it a little bit differently. Onboarding is basically a way to get players into the game so that they can enjoy it, right? Now, another trope of the genre, of the Souls game genre, is immediate pain, right? Zero explanation, aimlessness, and death. Those are sort of the three hallmarks of a Souls game. When they drop you into some barren wasteland, everything's killing you very quickly, and you don't really have any idea, what's going on, where you're supposed to go. Even Elden Ring, I think, leaned away from this with its opening, trying to give players a fighting chance to enjoy the game and not just feel like it's another game where you're going to get no explanation about what you're supposed to do. From GamesRadar.com, quote, we have created a lengthy onboarding experience because the difference between motivation and frustration is understanding why you failed or what the game wants you to do. With long onboarding, we believe that players will be able to practice and master all the basics before we let them out into the very unforgiving world. And that's one of my favorite framings I've seen, that the chasm between motivation and frustration is separated by understanding. If you understand why you failed, what you did wrong, it can foster motivation. That always happens with me in games like this. If I stay in the trenches long enough, it clicks. The fight clicks, and I know what I need to do. I know why I failed. But if you can't get to that point, you're just going to be frustrated and likely put the game down. I think this is just one piece of how they're trying to put their mark on the Souls-like genre. The other thing they're focusing on is verticality. Now, this is where the line about Dark Souls 4 comes in. So far, this is from the same article, this feels rather like the Dark Souls 4 that From Software didn't make. Vertosu has previously described the game as his own Dark Souls 4.5. Similar in how it also opts for a labyrinthian interconnected world rather than Elden Ring's open world. He explains that this was down to wanting to create a world that doesn't stretch in directions but stretches vertically, while this design also allows the team more control over specific moments, such as ambushes at a choke point or an opening that leads to a stunning vista. So to me, this is pretty exciting that they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves, right? The comparisons to Elden Ring will certainly be there. They've actually welcomed those comparisons in other articles. They take that as a flattering thing. And now we have the claim that in their mind, this was them sort of building Dark Souls 4.5. Like, this is where they envision Dark Souls going. And I do like the idea of having more verticality in the game. Combined with the dual worlds, it should create a great sense of density and scope. And one last note that should be exciting for those who want aspects of the game to maybe be a bit more approachable. Now, none of this means that the game will be easy by any stretch. Just because they're doing onboarding and just because they made this adjustment to parry that I'm about to read to you does not mean this game will be easy. It seems that we'll open up the game for experimentation along with mastery. More from Games Radar. But one more streamlined mechanic that will appeal to players who struggle with perfect timing is the decision to get rid of a dedicated parry button, a mechanic with less than 2% players engaging with previously. Similar to Wolong Fallen Dynasty, having deflect mapped to the same button as dodge, parrying is instead done by tapping block at the exact moment of impact. So even if you mess up the timing, you'll still at least block with your shield. In other words, high-skill players who do love to parry can still do it, but it's not essential. I found this to be an exciting change. I love parrying, but when the risk-reward is just too high, it makes mastery a requirement rather than a goal to aspire to. So I just end up not doing it because it's like I can't get the timing down. It's easier just to probably roll out of the way or dodge. As I said, this change should allow experimentation with the possibility of mastery. Essentially what it does is it says you can master parry and do it very effectively, but you don't have to master parry just to use it. The last thing I want to say is this is a bit of an Unreal 5 test case. A lot of games coming to the market are still using Unreal 4. Some games are in videos right now claiming that they're Unreal 5, and yet all my research is either inconclusive or it looks like they're actually in Unreal 4. Even Lies of P has differing reports about it, but the most trustworthy sources seem to be saying Unreal 4 for Lies of P. So Lords of the Fallen is one of the biggest titles coming in Unreal 5 right now, ahead of games like Hellblade 2, and ahead of Dragon's Dogma, which is in the RE engine. So we have some pretty big titles using really nice engines, and the FromSoft engine is an in-house engine that has its own rough edges. Even fans of FromSoft games will tell you those rough edges are there. So at one level, this puts a lot of pressure on Lords of the Fallen to deliver. There are certainly doubters. They think the strong push to UE5 is a mistake. This could silence those doubters and those skeptics. It could raise the bar on frame timing and iframe consistency, along with graphical fidelity and performance. Those are two things that I think Elden Ring still struggles with today. The art style in Elden Ring is fantastic, but they never really got rid of some of the frame issues and some of the stutters. The graphical fidelity in Elden Ring is clearly not setting its sights on next gen, so Lords of the Fallen could be a big debut title for UE5. It's also next gen only, so in more ways than game design, this game could truly stand tall in the Souls-like genre. But in the gaming world at large, it could also garner a lot of attention. So I say all that to say this. Lords of the Fallen is not a game that you should ignore. Even if you're not a Souls fan, it's a title to keep an eye on. Big, bombastic, graphically powerful, and it's in UE5. Elden Ring certainly changed things for the Souls-like genre, and Lords of the Fallen looks to potentially carry things further. So let me give you my thoughts and my conclusion. Lords of the Fallen has a pretty big shadow it's standing beneath after how well Elden Ring performed last year. Comparisons will be never-ending, and they seem to have made good decisions, I think, to stand apart in the wake of those comparisons. At the very least, the dual world and the verticality of the map design should set it apart, especially since they're not going for a massive open world like Elden Ring. Second thing, Unreal 5 is still, in many ways, kind of out in the distance. There's a lot of skepticism about all of the developers switching to Unreal 5. I think it would be comparable if you compare this to Hellblade 2, Lords of the Fallen, and then Fortnite, you can dispel the notion that all UE5 games will look the same. That's a common thing that's stated. But if you look at the graphical style and the fidelity of Lords of the Fallen, and then Fortnite, and then Hellblade 2, I don't think we have any concerns about games coming out and all looking very samey. To many, the engine is still an unproven test case for large-scale or ambitious titles. Lords of the Fallen will be one of the first to maybe put some of those doubts to rest. Conclusion. Lords of the Fallen may in fact be part of the future of the Souls-like genre. It could even go beyond that and be a defining game for this game type. As I've said many times, don't sleep on this title. Why? It may very well snag Game of the Year out of the clutches of bigger and more well-known games this year. And that's the show open. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am super sorry I made you guys wait so long because I was trying to get a Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition. I'm pretty sure I got one at the buzzer. They have sold out. I think because I already had one in the cart, they allowed my order to go through. I may be one of those unlucky people that later on get the email that says, yeah, we had to cancel your order. We ran out. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, since I was in and logged in and had one in the cart, they reserved one for me. I was just clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking, and finally it went through. Guys, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell button. Let's get those likes up and running. I like covering Lords of the Fallen mainly because I'm one of the few people out there saying, I think this game could bring the heat. I think this game could bring really, really, really big things, and I actually think it could potentially get a Game of the Year nomination. I do need to check how many things people have done this morning. Rigo PL has gifted a member, so starting the sub goal strong already. We hit 34 yesterday, and we are going to start the day with 1 out of the 25. Every 25, I gift 5. Guys, it's Friday, so don't forget, tonight is Friday night with Matt, and we may even play some board games with you guys tonight. I'll put like a table in between us. We'll use the second camera, put it like above the table. That should be pretty fun. Hopefully you guys are having a good Friday. Again, that late start was because I was doing my darndest to get the Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition, and let's get 200 likes on this video. The second stream today will be about Diablo 4. I'll be debating that Diablo 4 is boring and talking about why I'm not playing anymore, and I'll be talking about that with 30 and Still Gaming as well as you. And if you're a VIP member, there'll be a stream after that, the weekly unfiltered VIP stream. Sandwiches are for children. That's right. We say that, but apparently forgot they only gave Demon Souls to Blue Point, and they mess with the art direction of the game because it didn't suit their aesthetics. 5 gifted members from my man Mike onto Mike. Thank you so much for doing that, bumping us to 6 total members, and another one coming in from DK Bager, little gifted member train to start our Friday off right. Thank you for doing that. If you guys got a gifted member, you can always pay it forward and gift one back to somebody else. I just hope Lords of the Fallen combat is a little faster than Souls. I mean, based on the videos we've seen up to now, Eugene, it actually looks quite a bit faster than Souls games, right? I mean, I only played the Dark Souls 3, but I'm pretty sure Dark Souls 3 is that like, no, I think Dark Souls 2 is faster. At least people have told me that. Shocked? Boring? Yeah, it'll be a good discussion. Make sure you guys are here for that. Like, let's look at some of the game. Oh, we need gameplay, not all this cinematic stuff. Come on. Let's get some gameplay here. I actually think this does look like it's going to be quite a bit strong, quite a bit faster. It does look like there's big sweeping attacks, though, that might be a little bit slower. It's hard to know in games like this. I definitely don't think you're going to be playing something that's at the speed of like Sekiro, but there does seem to be quite a bit of agility, quite a bit of speed. You know, you've got some of your like just some of these sections right here, like that dodge, and then there's a scene where they get shot at, right? Boom, there. Looks like you've got a decent amount of agility. Maybe you could go with an agility build where, you know, you're going to be moving quite a bit faster. It's hard to know, though. You know, every game's got different style. Every game has different approaches to combat. Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring were fine. I just hope for a little bit more speed. I'm playing Mortal Shell right now, and it's so slow. Are you going to stream the Diablo 4 Campfire? No. I don't have any desire to co-stream their stuff anymore. I find their streams to be very annoying. I'm just being 100% honest with you. I don't feel like they're informative. They're very talking point driven, and I find them to be very annoying. They're super self-indulgent. They sit and laugh and make a bunch of inside jokes. I don't have time. I don't have time for that, dude. I don't have time for that. I'm not watching your stream to watch you like make, you know, jokes that only people at your office get. I don't know. I don't like covering stuff like that. I've covered their dev streams two, maybe 3 times now, and every time I felt like I was like, why am I covering this? This is not enjoyable. No, there will not be difficulty settings in Lords of the Fallen. A gifted member from Joker. Some of you guys are so faithful and kind, always poking that number and making it go up. Bink takes it to 8. Thank you, and it goes to Liquid Smoke. Every 25 members, I give 5 back. We got 2 shows for you today. Right now, we're talking about Lords of the Fallen. Is it the future of the Souls environment? And I mean, they basically said in an interview, they built this game to essentially be what they envisioned Dark Souls 4 would be, which I think is actually pretty ambitious. Number 1, to say that. Number 2, to like trot that out. OG Lords was rough. It's interesting that they didn't give it a number. DK Bager with another gifted member pushes us to 9. Thank you so much for doing that. If you guys get it to 15, sometimes people like to do the layup and like slam it home. 10's kind of a layup for 15, honestly, because somebody can do a 5 bomb. So thank you for that one, DK Bager. I played the first Lords of the Fallen. Very weird game. Had good ideas, but poor execution and performance was kind of bad. This is essentially supposed to be sort of like a reboot for the franchise and the series, which I find to be interesting. Because I don't think they wanted to do Lords of the Fallen 2, because I think maybe they were thinking that would have a lot of baggage from the first game. I don't know. I think they said this was a reboot. Yeah, it's envisioned to be a reboot. This is not meant to be seen as a sequel. Mike on the mic's going to gift 1 and take us to 10. That certainly is a layup for 15. And 20 months from my man Khalid. Absolutely happy to be part of this amazing community. Looking back at the journey you've gone through just makes me feel proud of you, Lono, and you all. Thank you, Khalid. That's very, very kind. Over 400 people here already, guys. Smash the like button. Nice solid turnout for... this is a bit of an indulgent stream. I will fully admit that. 11 members now as a total. Thank you, Raptor, for gifting 1. And it goes to John Hall. This is one of... oh, no, Borbs did it. Borbs slammed it home. That's actually 16. Borbs did a 5 bomb. Thank you so much, Borbs. He's like, dude, I'll do it. I'll do it. Right now we're at 16, so somebody can slam it home and be the agent of chaos. New haircut. Yeah, I got my hairs cut. Got a little bit of a fresh trim up there. I need to do my beard now. I do my beard on Sundays, so usually by now it's grown back quite a bit. I don't shave every day. I don't like doing that. I guess the original was an idea more, and this is a game, then this is the game. Now we have the technology to make the game as good as it was originally meant to be. That's all I can think of. Also can make a second game. Yo, it's good, Inner Void. The OG Lord of the Fallen release was Souls fans, when Souls fans were brutal with other companies trying to use the Souls formula. Why do you still have a beard? Because it was earned in June. We're doing that in July. You mean you're going to shave it? Yeah. We're going to shave it, but I'm doing that in July. You earned it in June, so we will be doing that in July. If I don't do crit damage, I'm only hitting 100 to 200 damage. They really wanted Druid to be support. Don't you have to shave your beard? Yes. A little bit of stream delay. Everybody's asking the same question. Yeah, it'll be done in July. Guessy, I already read that. I already read that. OG Lords was a different dev. It was received poorly. Originally was called Lords of the Fallen 2, turned into a reboot when it changed devs. Next to it says, I'm so glad people are stepping into the Souls space while From takes a little break to indulge in mechs. How's a guy supposed to play so many good games, right? My vacation's like the 3rd week in July, so don't worry. I'm not going to do... I was kidding slightly when I said that I was going to try and time it with my trip so that I didn't have a bunch of videos without a beard. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. If they didn't want baggage from the first game, they should have just come up with a new name. Well, there could have been legality behind that. Just wait. Like, if you've already booked and billed the game under a name, you never know. Sometimes when you do something like this, because you're attached to the original, it's an opportunity to have that comeback. To be like, all right, Lords of the Fallen's rebooting. This looks way better than the last game. Let me give it a shot, right? You almost view the game on a spectrum of improvement because there's something before, as opposed to just all of a sudden it's got some brand new game, brand new title, right? Eugene adding plan better to his name. I feel like that sentiment is commonplace. It feels like devs are finally able to make the games they wanted to, and games are at the point they're playing how we imagined when we played. Have you talked yet about Armored Core gameplay reveal? I have not talked about that. No. The last time I tried to talk about Armored Core, it went about as well as the last time I talked about Lords of the Fallen, so it was a bit of a toss-up. We were choosing between Armored Core and Lords of the Fallen today, and after the Lords of the Fallen Dual Worlds trailer during Summer Game Fest, I thought I'd really want to talk about that. I really want to drive home that I think this is going to be a pivotal game. I think this is going to be a pretty meaningful game. It may even, as I've said many times, sneak up onto the Game of the Year podium. You know, a game like this could steal it away. It really, really could. People might not be prepared for this game. You know, all the big titles may end up cannibalizing each other. You know, you may just see a bunch of games, a bunch of games hit, and then they all kind of hit each other, right? It's like, well, they're all going to be up there on that Game of the Year podium, and they're all heavy hitters, and, you know, it's kind of like those singing, it's like those competitions where all the singers cannibalize each other, and then some random person wins the competition, you know? Hyde coming in with 2 months of membership, and he's a VIP as well. Congrats on the collector's edition. I got mine a few hours back. Time difference. Unboxing them hits different since I got a kid, and he's a Spidey and Venom super fan. That's awesome, Hyde. It'll be on another level. That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully mine doesn't get canceled, because, again, I submitted my order, and apparently it sold out in like 30 minutes. And my order completed between the 30th and the 40th minute. So I might be one of those unlucky ones that gets an email later that says, oh, yeah, you know, we had to cancel your order or whatever. Can't wait to invade Mark 186 in Lords of the Fallen. It has serious potential to be great, but it could be a real stinker. Well, a lot of people have had commentary about Unreal 5 games, because there's actually a lot of Souls-like games coming out in Unreal 5. And a lot of people are like super worried. They think UE5's, you know, overstated and exaggerated, and they think that, this thing is not going to be that good. They have all the shader compilation errors. There's a lot of those things that I think I understand where people are coming from. I do. I understand where people are coming from. They're like, this feels untested. I think in many people's mind, UE5 is untested. It's kind of an untested game. Like, I can't even go to my orders right now on the website. It's like their PlayStation Direct website is still acting really, really squirrely. I went and double checked. Yeah, it's still there. It's a pre-order, order received. I have an order number. So I should be good. It's still there, along with my PSVR 2. What's Liza P using for their engine? Okay, so that's what's confusing. Guys, could you give me 200 likes on the video? We're kind of lacking on likes today. These Friday streams are a little bit different, so I've been using the first stream on Fridays to be a little bit more self-indulgent because it's a shorter stream. But let's do our best. Slam that home. Let's get 200 likes. Let's get our member goal going. It just says member. I forgot I changed that yesterday during I forgot I changed that during Layers of Fear. There we go. So, Lies of P is UE4, but there's a bunch of people out there throwing Lies of P in videos and claiming that it's Unreal 5. And I'm like, a quick Google search dispels that notion. I'm not seeing any claims from the devs that it's UE5. Everything says UE4. So I think there's a lot of confusion out there right now where people see Unreal Engine and they just assume, oh, it's Unreal 5. Yeah, it's Unreal 5. Yep. Yeah, I pre-ordered the Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition. It went live an hour and 15 minutes ago and sold out in about 31 minutes. So, 6 games are nominated: Hogwarts, Zelda, Diablo, Starfield, Spider-Man, maybe Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor doesn't stand a chance, homie. Final Fantasy 16 will definitely be up there. Yeah. Jedi Survivor doesn't stand a chance. It shouldn't be up there, in my personal opinion, because of the graphical problems, right? I played about 20 to 30 minutes of the Iconic Challenge last night in Final Fantasy 16. That game is absolutely getting a Game of the Year nomination. There's no way it doesn't. I don't see it being possible that it doesn't get a nom. And they need to fix the frame issues. I actually had more frame issues in the Iconic Challenge, and I really, really hope they fix that. The demo is 3 versions old, so we're hoping that but the version coming next week has that all smoothed out, because all the marketing and all those interviews, man, I'll be critical. I will be very critical if that thing has frame issues, because you guys were out here talking big talk, you know. Callisto Protocol equals best graphics. I don't think Callisto Protocol deserves any nominations for graphics because of how crappy it ran. Like, it certainly is impressive, the character design. It really, really is. It's impressive. But that game ran so poorly and got such bad reviews, I can't see Callisto getting any nominations. I really can't. So many games this year. Pretty sure we all can wait to dive in for our games of choice. I mean, here's the thing you guys got to understand about like Game of the Year nominations and everything that's coming, all right? A lot of the games that are going to get nominated are going to be games that we kind of called ahead of time, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be some surprises, right? Yo, a big one! 20 gifted members from Risic. He absolutely nails it. All the way up to 36. We're now on our way to 50. This man is a madman. The support is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Wow. That is nuts. That we've barely gotten started this morning. Fridays are always a little bit of a late start because of my schedule. The rest of the week is normal, but Friday's a little bit of a late start. But the beauty of Fridays is you get 2 talk shows. You get like an early show with me that's a little bit shorter, and then you get a talk show with me and my man 30 and Still Gaming. We're going to be debating Diablo 4 because I think it's boring, and that should be a fun one. Why is it not letting me tag him? Come on, fix your flow. Fix your flow, YouTube. All I'm trying to do is tag my man. You're supposed to be able to tag YouTubers in descriptions. You just put like the @ symbol and then their name. And whenever you schedule a live stream, like the flow doesn't let you. I have to schedule it, then I have to go back in, then I have to edit it. Yeah, I keep forgetting to add products as well. I keep forgetting to do that. Because after it's scheduled, you have to go back in and do it. It's just not part of my flow yet. Like, you ever do something so many times, like everything's kind of on autopilot? So much of what I do with scheduling streams and stuff is just totally autopilot. Sony Pony will keep talking about Starfield performance till September the 6th instead of the actual game in the highly detailed showcase. How many more videos are going to make about this? A quick typing of Starfield in the search bar of any of my channels will show you how bad a take you have, and I'll make as many as I think I have information people would like to know. Just watch your live streams. You're correct. I apologize. Hey, look at that. Somebody did a little bit of research and realized, like, wait a minute, this guy actually likes Starfield. Imagine doing a little bit of research, you know? Imagine putting me in your thumbnail and in your video, but about you know, Sony ponies getting sad about Starfield, and then you don't put any of my comments about Starfield in your video. Grift harder. You know what I mean? Grift a little harder, bottom feeders. I think Hi-Fi Rush will be nominated for awards, but Game of the Year, I'm not sure. Oh, I don't think Hi-Fi Rush will get a Game of the Year. I could see... Well, that's the thing, though. Will they consider it an indie? I don't know if they'll consider it an indie title. Because I could see it winning Breakout Indie. I could see it winning Indie, but I don't know if it'll be classified as an indie. Isn't it a AA title? Got a lot of money behind it. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. It would clean house. It would clean house in the indie category. But I don't know if it'll be classified as that. My daughter beat it. I loved watching her play that game. It was a really, really good game. It's not going to get a Game of the Year nomination, though. The competition's way too thick. I forgot to open my mug. It still has to be a good game, story, and performance to have to be there. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. I actually think Lords of the Fallen story looks really interesting. Now, people are accusing them of copying Elden Ring with their one character that kind of looks like, Melania or whatever. And it's actually not true. Lords of the Fallen had that character out in circulation before Elden Ring showed off their character. So it was just pure coincidence that they look similar. They don't move or fight the same at all. It's just a big, plume of hair that's similar, but the armor and the fighting styles are completely different. The category has a limited number of spaces, and the choices are basically already set. Hi-Fi isn't one of them. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Lords of the Fallen sneaks up on the stage for Game of the Year. I really, truly do. I truly do. Because right now, we know Zelda's going to be up there. We're fairly confident that Final Fantasy 16 will be up there. I think Starfield's going to be up there after everything we saw. Even if it has poor performance, I still think they'll throw it up there because of how ambitious it is. It depends on how bad the performance is, but I think it'll perform well enough for people to kind of overlook that and say, nah, this is an impactful title. So I think those are your easiest three predictions right there. Zelda, Final Fantasy 16, and Starfield will almost certainly all be up there. That's half of your Game of the Year noms right there. Your other three, I think it's Lords of the Fallen, Spider-Man 2, and then Hogwarts. I don't think Diablo 4 stands a chance to knock Hogwarts off the table. I really don't. Diablo is getting mixed reception. Now, Diablo 4 got media darling treatment before it launched. Now that it's out there, the people are not talking about that game the same way. It's almost as if the game wasn't ready. Bring all your debate points about Diablo for the second stream, because that's what we're talking about today. I've already put that game down. That game was not ready. I don't want to cannibalize second show. So get yourselves ready for that debate. But in the realm of Game of the Year, I'm serious, man. I think Lords of the Fallen is going to sneak up on everybody. I think it's going to sneak up on everybody, dude. Hogwarts was so overrated. Oh, no, I think Hogwarts was a great game. Well, it's such a good game. It's big. It's expansive. There's actually tons of depth. The story was quite good. The writing was quite good. The combat was really satisfying. Man, my wife dumped over 60 hours into Hogwarts. She never has done anything like that before, ever. I dumped 42 hours into Hogwarts. So, Lords of the Fallen, though, I think the biggest thing standing in Lords of the Fallen's way is everyone's going to say it looks like Elden Ring. Everyone's going to say it's not as good as Elden Ring or not as big as Elden Ring. I think that's going to be one of the things that makes it difficult. Is it's got a lot of a shadow to try to outrun. It's got to outrun that shadow. JW with 28 months, and it's a VIP plus. It's been a great run, brother. Happy for the progress this channel has made. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, JW. I could see them nominating more than 6 this year, says Eugene. Oh, you think they throw like 8 titles up there, Eugene? I think for the most part, they've only done 6. You know, have they ever done more than 6 nominations? I think it's almost always been 6, but I could see them throwing 8 titles up there, just being like, there were too many good titles this year. All of these titles deserve a mention. What about Resident Evil 3 and Armored Core 6? Dadgummit, I forgot about Armored Core 6. I'm telling you, it's there. Number one, there's no way Hi-Fi gets up there. There's too many big titles. I literally forgot about Armored Core 6. Gee, purrs. I don't know, man. I don't know. Resident Evil 4 Remake could be a Game of the Year contender. I think it's harder for remakes to get up there. I do. I think it's harder for remakes to get up on the podium. Reb, with 9 months of membership, and it's a VIP. I'm pretty sure Jedi Survivor is going to get forgotten, given how bad the performance was. Also, congrats on seeing channel getting critical mass. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, this year is jam-packed. It's just so full. All the people saying that, like, gaming is in the toilet and gaming is garbage. There are so many big games this year that we're saying there could be 8 nominations for Game of the Year. Do you have any idea how good a year in gaming has to be for us to be having this debate? Right? Now, obviously, yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. I'm not even a fighting guy. I forgot about those games. Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6 also came out this year. Now, Street Fighter 6 is getting some criticism for its monetization practices, but I think in general the game was very well received as far as its quality and as far as review scores. It can get in the podium. Pretty sure Resident Evil 2 Remake was there. If a remake made it to the podium for Game of the Year, it would be Dead Space? No. If you think Dead Space is going to beat out the Resident Evil remake, we have a long argument to have. Well, actually, it'll be quite short. You're wrong. There's no way. There is no way the Resident Evil remake would get up there before. I'm sorry. I told you I do it all the time. I read words in chat instead of saying the words I want to say, or I read words on the screen instead of saying the words I want to say. There's no way that the Dead Space remake gets up there before Resident Evil remake. If there's 2 remakes edging out each other or trying to beat each other out for Game of the Year nomination to get included, Resident Evil would get up there, not Dead Space. Ain't no freaking way, dude. The Dead Space remake was not that good. It was fine, but it ain't getting up there. If Jeff and the press decide to let a remake up on the podium for Game of the Year, it'd be Resident Evil. No doubt in my mind. That's not even a competition. Especially since RE4 has PSVR 2 support, which is a brand new, never-before way to play RE4. I know, I want to try that out. Guys, we're getting a really nice turnout today. Everybody's kind of coming in. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to be doing another stream debating Diablo 4. I want to know what you think about Lords of the Fallen. I argued this morning from a variety of ways that this is going to be, I think, sort of the future of Souls. I think this is going to be a pivotal game for the Souls genre. The way they're doing the dual world system sounds very interesting. All the innovation that they're bringing with onboarding the player, with verticality and map design, the fact that they view this game as being Dark Souls 4, at least in their mind, that's what they set out to build. And it's going to be a bit of a test case for the Unreal 5 engine. So feel free to weigh in. Would love to know what you think. The second stream today will be a debate about, I think Diablo 4 is boring. I'll be debating it with 30 and Still Gaming, a friend of mine who's playing it quite a bit, and he doesn't agree. He thinks it's great. He's having a great time. And wherever you land on the debate, show up to that stream so you can bring the heat and bring the back and forth. All members take note. Tonight's Friday, so it'll be Friday night with Madam. We spend the first hour or two just hanging out and talking. We're not going to kick off the night anymore with a game. It's more enjoyable just to kind of hang out with you guys and talk. We may show off some of the 2-player board games we've been playing lately for you. We'll set up the second cam so you can see that. And Kat sent that cool game we looked at called Azul. We looked at that game called Azul. We haven't learned how to play that one yet, so I don't know if we'll be able to showcase that one tonight. I need to record a Brick Abbey video, though, so I can clear off the table over there. So I may have to do that this afternoon and build the Mando head and try to do it as fast as I can. And just let the video be as long as it is and just upload it at some point. You got paid today? Yo, congrats, 831 Loco. Doesn't Avium come out before Lords? That game is UE5. That's true. That's true. I forgot about Immortals of Avium. That'll be another good test for UE5. Yes. It's the way I phrase it is this. Yo, Crinab's gonna bump the gifted member line and pushes us to 37. Don't let these big member bombs dissuade you guys. You can gift one at a time. It works. It's just as generous, especially when there's almost 500 people here. Thank you so much. Holy cow, it worked. Yes, you can gift on a lot of the platforms now. A lot of the mobile platforms you can gift as well. It supports me directly. It gets more people in to the membership fold. Good morning, Diablo 4 boring. How dare you, sir? Okay, maybe the level grind is tad boring. Save the Diablo 4 stuff for the second stream, all right? Save it. All right, tuck away your points. You know what you could do? Get out a little piece of paper and write down what you want to say so we can have a really substantive discussion. I'm giving you a heads up, all right? Attention, class. All right? How'd you eat an elephant? One gifted membership at a time. That's right, baby. Oh, a person named Cat. When you said, and Cat, I thought you meant your cat will be there. I might skip date night for a cat. Derek says, Lono, I only need you to say your best joke yesterday was when you were wandering around in that game and you saw a painting and you said, I don't want to go to heaven, in your scratchy voice. Hilarious. That little angel was getting like carried away. Like, I don't want to go to heaven. Oh, man. Usually I can get into a pretty funny headspace with games like that and kind of make fun of them. I was just not really satisfied with the game, so I couldn't get in a good mood. I was kind of disappointed in Layers of Fear. Ula Tech with 4 months of membership. Morning, Lono. Great show. Can't wait for the Diablo talk. It's taken my life. Thank you, thank you. It's early 2024. Huh? Also, I don't think Hog Leg is going to be on the podium. I think you meant to say Hogwarts. The Shadow of Rolling. No, I don't think you... listen, if there's one thing Keeley doesn't care about, he doesn't care about that crap. The 1 year Activision was involved, and you know, and they were in way more hot water with the gaming community than she is. The gaming community doesn't give a frick about that crap. Yo, Ula Tech gifts a member goes to JD Bo. 38 members on the day. I laughed about that for about 10 minutes. Wasn't that right after I called the one painting? I was like, Mama had too much to drink or whatever. Just saying, Eugene failed me, so I had to do it myself. Dead Space Game of the Year. The black and white image. Oh, man. Halo Infinite and Hi-Fi Rush are not first party. I've been watching every stream. Just work has been busy, so I can't be as active, but I'm listening. Love your streams. Thank you, John L. Baroki. What's the date cutoff for Game of the Year? Mid-November. It's usually like November the 15th, Gilly. Because the show, the Game of the Year show is usually like the second week of December. So they usually give themselves that window of time to deliberate, and then they announce the nominations, and then they let everybody vote. So you have like a 3 to 4 week period in between when there's no longer a chance to be nominated, and then the actual event itself. Hogwarts is not Game of the Year. It launched too early. Nobody really talks about it now. It blew its load too early, just like Elden Ring. But Elden Ring won Game of the Year, Gilly. What are you talking about? Are you feeling okay? That I was getting ready to make the point that you can't claim that, because Elden Ring and Forbidden West got nominations, and they were really early in the year. And then Elden Ring won Game of the Year. It beat out recency bias God of War Ragnarok. A lot of us thought Ragnarok was going to steal it away. We thought Ragnarok was going to steal it. We're like, recency bias. More of the press could complete Ragnarok because of difficulty settings. Yeah, Gilly, you're not 100% today. Was Hogwarts fun? I found it so boring. I liked it. Yeah, I think Hogwarts gets a nom. I do. Did Elden Ring win? I thought something else won. No, Elden Ring won. Yeah. I wanted Ragnarok to win, but when they gave Miyazaki director or direction, I was like, yeah, Elden Ring is going to win. The minute Elden Ring won for best direction, I was like, it's over. I don't think Ragnarok can come across that. Or I meant to say overcome that. Can't overcome that. Xbox fans ain't late in the PlayStation game win Game of the Year. They'll vote for anything to stop that. PlayStation sat back laughing. Well, I mean, the player vote doesn't count for much. It doesn't. It's primarily driven by the press. And there were bots voting for that one thing, and Sonic was going to win, and it didn't win. Because Keighley was like, we vetted the votes. There was some shenanigans going on. Yeah, Bill Clinton won. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Aztecs The Last Sun demo. Oh, I don't play games like that. Psycho thriller indie adventure reveals gripping gameplay trailer. Oh, reveal. Oh, I think that game looked pretty cool if I remember right. If my memory is accurate. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, hit subscribe so you can talk in my chat. Smash the like button. And make sure you guys are all buttoned up and ready to go for the second stream. Why does this guy's comments always get filtered? It must be his username, or maybe he's nasty on the platform in general, so he's just been flagged. Like every time, there's a guy, his name is like J-Man or something, and every time he leaves a comment, I have to approve it, and I don't know why. I've never flagged him, or I've never had to delete any of his comments. They're always normal. Hot take, Ragnarok wasn't half the game God of War 2018 was, and that franchise is hands down my favorite IP. It lacked, to say the least. Yeah, I don't have a comeback to that. I don't know how to argue that. I don't care to argue that. I think they were very different approaches to storytelling, and I thought they were both great in their own way. Depends on the limits and the playability of Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man 2, and if the PS5 games get hard pressed against, if their quick finishes and put downs could work against them, Spider-Man 2's map's going to be twice as big. I don't know how Final Fantasy 16 to be a quick put down. That's going to be a monster of a game. The story alone is going to eat up so much time, and I'm the guy that typically doesn't watch cutscenes, and I was captivated. Man, I don't know. Everybody thinks Tears of the Kingdom's got it wrapped up. Buddy, the year is not over yet. There are some monsters on the horizon. There are some big games coming. Final Fantasy 16 is literally converting non-Final Fantasy fans. I don't play Final Fantasy games, and I was captivated. I was like, this is incredible. This is one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest games I'd ever played. I was like, this is amazing. I went into it thinking, I'm not going to like this very much. Let me just see what everybody's talking about. I couldn't put it down. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be the Elden Ring of Final Fantasy. Yeah, Zubair saying, I played the demo. I may actually play a Final Fantasy game. It's a pivotal title. Mark it. I said it 3 days ago. Yeah, listen. I've got a couple of streams saying this, and everybody's like, no way, bro. Tears of the Kingdom's got it wrapped up. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Starfield could be insurmountable because it'll be loved and beloved by the gaming world. Look at the way people are already defending 30 FPS, okay? Starfield has a good chance of making it really hard on Tears of the Kingdom to win, edging it out in the RPG realm. Final Fantasy 16 is going to check a lot of boxes. cinematic strength, story strength, combat. The combat is it's just nuts. And the reason that I keep telling people don't sleep on Lords of the Fallen, Lords of the Fallen doesn't have that much in its way, I should say. It doesn't have a lot in its way this year. There's no other real title like it. Lies of P, maybe. I think Lies of P is going to be a little too small and a little too rough around the edges to go toe-to-toe with Lords of the Fallen. So I think Lords of the Fallen will get up there just because it's kind of by itself this year to a certain degree. Gears doesn't have a guarantee this year. There is so much competition. This year is absolutely stacked. Starfield's going to have a leg up. I'm telling you, people are dying to give Xbox a Game of the Year winner. Well, and Microsoft traditionally gets treated very well by the Game Awards. Like, the whole Deathloop thing I always felt was more motivated by Microsoft than the quality of the game. I pre-ordered Final Fantasy 16 due to Lono talking about it. Listen, I never tell people to get a game. But if you try that demo and you're disappointed, I would be very surprised. You have to be a very particular gamer to not find something enjoyable about Final Fantasy 16. You'd have to be a very particular style of gamer. Do you like fighting games? I feel like you could find a way to enjoy that game. Do you like action-adventure games? What are you doing? Why haven't you played it yet? Do you like story-driven games? What are you doing? Why haven't you played it yet? Unless you're just die-hard Call of Duty only, sports only, I see so many avenues and inroads into Final Fantasy 16. In fact, I think that's going to be Monday morning's show. So bring your ideas, bring your comments. What I want a bunch of you to do, okay? I want a bunch of you to play the Final Fantasy 16 demo this weekend and come ready to talk about it on Monday morning. Because that's my planned show for Monday, is this demo, bro. I did not think I was going to like this game, and something happened. Something happened. It's not perfect. It's kind of weird, but I can overlook that. Never played one before. Hate turn-based, but this was amazing. Demo flew by. You know what's funny is they haven't really done traditional turn-based in a really long time. They just haven't. Homework assignment. Play the FF16 demo. That's right. That's right. Beat it 2 times already. Well, if you've already beaten it 2 times, I want you to write down a bunch of talking points. Bring it Monday so we can have a great discussion. Bring it Monday. It's available on the PS5s and it saves progress for the real game. I like that, Ron M. I didn't know it was going to do that, and when I saw that, I was really glad. Do you want to know why? I was like, I don't want to have to play through this again. Everybody's going to know about this. I'm going to want to hit the ground running in the story. Does that make sense? I'm not going to want to replay this entire thing. However, I kind of feel like for the sake of the past broadcast, maybe I should start from the very beginning. You play the entire Lies of P demo? No. Going to be much more bigger and more in-depth game than a lot of people think. P. Dudley, that's likely, but here's the problem. It just didn't feel good. It was rough, and I'm not going to play a game that needs to be patched. Like, Final Fantasy 16 needs to address the frame issues, but the combat played perfectly fine. I never had any issues with combat. Playing Lies of P, I'm like, the dodge was acting funky. There was oddities in the controls sometimes. I was like, it didn't. If a game doesn't feel good, I can't give it a lot of my time. Final Fantasy 16 felt good from the moment I started being in control of combat. I was like, this feels tight. It feels responsive. Lies of P felt loose. It felt unwieldy. There was something, there's things there that need to be, tightened down. I want the refresher. I skipped a lot of tooltips. Yeah, when you get into the iconic challenge, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. There's too many buttons to push. Then near the end, I was getting it. That UI. Bring your thoughts on Monday about Final Fantasy 16. Today, if you guys missed it, we've been looking at Lords of the Fallen. I think it could be a real future, or maybe the future of Souls games, making a big wave and splash this year in many ways. That right there is a good showcase of speed, Eugene. Eugene wanted the combat to be faster. That looked really fast. And her too, when you fight her, I mean, that's good. That's some pretty quick action going on here. Infinite with 12 months, and it's a VIP. Welcome back, Infinite, to the community. I don't know why it retracted your message. That's weird. I don't have that weird love for nobility and peasants and knights and medieval weapons. I tend to lean sci-fi. I mean, that makes sense, knowing your love for Star Trek, that you'd be a little less enthralled with medieval settings and weaponry and people. I was just going to say, that looks pretty fast. Yeah, that looked pretty snappy and pretty fast right there. Lords of the Fallen could be... I think it's going to be a special game. I do. I think a lot of people are going to look at this game and think, this one took us by surprise, right? I've been saying that about Witchfire. I've been saying that Witchfire is going to take people by surprise. Now, sadly, Witchfire is going to be one of those weird games. It's like, it's entering early access in September, I think. You might have to check me on that. I think it's September 20th. There were so many games that we went over. And that was one that has been standing out to me for a really, really long time. And, you know, I actually think that Witchfire could be another one that takes people by surprise. It could be. Could be another one. Takes people, sneaks up on them, you know? They're like, yo, this game is hot. This game is a surprise hit. Kind of how Hades, you know, took the world by storm, you know? I think Witchfire could be in a similar category. All of a sudden, everybody's talking about Witchfire. Although, I just think that ever-present early access thing is just kind of funky and kind of weird. Final Fantasy hasn't been turn-based in like 12 years, and this has always been the trajectory of the franchise since the start. It went from turn-based to ATB to real-time combat. Right. Looking at Lords of the Fallen makes me want a Bloodborne game. Lords of the Fallen character movement is reminiscent of Bloodborne. It seems like James Rucker and Jareth are on the same wavelength. What do you guys think? Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Is that... Wait. Do you guys think... I thought that was Asmongold for a second. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Anyways, does anybody else watch this trailer and think, man, I'd really like some Bloodborne. Anybody else watching this getting that vibe? I've not played Bloodborne. I need a 60 FPS version if I'm going to play it. The Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition pre-orders are still up. Oh, are they still available? Okay, good. Then mine's not really in danger of getting canceled then. Just realized I forgot to use mine at the beginning of the week. Oops. Welcome back, Broken Surprise and a VIP. Guys, thank you so much for all the members today. We're looking at Lords of the Fallen. Somebody said it really makes them want Bloodborne. What do you think? Lords of the Fallen gameplay. Is it making you feel like you want a little bit of Bloodborne? I could see it. I've seen enough footage of Bloodborne to maybe see what you're talking about. We're at 38 members out of 50. If you hit 50, I'll owe you guys 10 members in the next stream. Right now, I owe you 5 members. I gift 5 every 25. Go, go, go. It's a stock refresh. Yeah, if you guys are trying to get the Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition, just go. Just keep clicking, clicking, and clicking. That was a pretty good impression. I've been working on my Asmongold impersonation. It's kind of hard. All right, you need long hair. You can, like, grab it and, like, pull it back. You need to be able to do eyebrows, you know? Lords of the Fallen looks insane. Your video made me pre-order. It's the co-op and the PvP that got me so excited. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Now, I left that out of the show open, the monologue. Their approach to co-op is different. You don't have to, like, reset it if somebody dies. It's not going to be like that. You can, like, get each other up. It's a more traditional co-op experience. You can't learn that kind of eyebrow flexibility. You got to be born with it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't have it. His go almost an entire inch higher than mine, I'm fairly certain. Oh my god, on the Final Fantasy 16 demo was good. Oh my god. Oh my god. His forehead muscles must be chiseled. Yeah. He can hold a letter up there, you know? He's like at the mailbox getting his mail. He's like, hang on a minute. And he just like pinches it with his forehead. Let's get Lono to reverse seer a $2 stake. Well, no, you guys got 4,500 members, so I had to figure out how to do the reverse seer stream. I was talking about it with Madam, and I don't know how we could do the reverse seer stream without accidentally doxing myself. It's too easy now. It happened to somebody. They took like a picture in their driveway or their front yard, and someone was able to use the picture to like figure out where they live. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. We might have to record it and then stream it and like hang out so I can like cut out anything that's risky, like put my grill up against the garage door so you can't see any landmarks, and like in the kitchen just mainly stay right there in front of the stove, you know? It's difficult. Yeah. You see how high his eyebrows went? Asmon's hairline isn't receding. His forehead's just getting swole. That's right. Skyrim Grandma will not be in Starfield after all. I'm too angry because they came out with that instead of Elder Scrolls 6. She should have said that Skyrim Grandma should be like, first and foremost, they didn't make Elder Scrolls 6. And then these motherfuckers are not going to make the game 60 FPS. Get them, Skyrim Grandma. Get them. Just point the camera directly at the grill. Go for the money shots. Yeah. I notice when Linus does his LTT, he does his home videos, he blurs out the windows. Yeah, with AI and with all of the tech and machine learning and all the stuff people can do now, you have to be like uber extra careful. You have to be super extra careful. I hope a dev one day remakes Dungeons & Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun. I'm not familiar with that one. You can't look like Asmon unless you have what looks like a forehead comb over. Oh, leave him alone. As someone with a large forehead, you know, leave Asmon and his forehead and his hair alone. Hey, Lono, I love the shows. When are you going to cover the Final Fantasy 16 demo? That is Monday morning show. Thank you for asking. We will be switching gears here in a moment to talk about how I think Diablo 4 is boring. I think it's boring. And I'll be debating that with 30 and Still Gaming because, you know, I think that I've already stopped playing, and for good reason. Turn-based old-school Sega Genesis game I sucked at as a kid. It was one of my favorite games. You know what's funny? I talk a lot of smack about turn-based games. But I think they should remake Super Mario RPG. Right? I think they should remake it. I think they should do a new one. I think it'd be amazing. I think people would love it. Especially if you do it, maybe even include all the characters from the movie. Like, maybe make it in that same art style. I think people would dig it. People know where you live, your name. They can find crap so easy. Sure. But, you know, that doesn't mean you want to hand them, you know, grooves. I'll never forget how 4chan was able to find Shia LaBeouf's live stream using effing wind direction on a flag. Oh my gosh. There's tons of games coming out between August and October. I love Mario RPG as a kid. It was a really, really fun RPG. It was excellent. It was. Super Mario Action RPG is a movie sequel. I have 80 hours in Diablo 4, so I'm the opposite. Well, I would love to hear from you guys about it. GameIndustry.biz says Final Fantasy XVI's demo is a masterclass in pre-launch marketing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle RPG game. Yeah, yo, DK Bager's gonna bump the line one more time, puts it to 39. One more single is the layup. Put us at 40 out of 50. A nice layup. These guys that like to wait in the wings with their big, big bombs. They like to drop 10s and 20s on the chat. Paper Mario is definitely turn-based. What? I never played Paper Mario. I didn't know that was a turn-based game. Paper Mario is turn-based? I thought that was... Why do I have it in my head that's a platformer? I never played it. Persona 5 is the pinnacle of turn-based JRPG in my opinion. I can't wait to see what P6 will be like. An RPG Aquaman game? And just call it... Excuse me. Just call it Aquaman Sucks. That was one of the best memes. Aquaman sucks. Oh, in the combat part. You never played Paper? No. You know what disappointed me? Is Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2 were so great. And then Mario Odyssey, I remember I just didn't like that one as much. I don't know why. I should probably go back and try to play it again. My wife and I were playing it, and there was something about it that turned me off, and I can't remember what it was. Chris DND Tefer with 7 months of membership. Thanks for the hard work over the weekend. Gave me a lot to catch up on this week at work. Thank you very much for maintaining a membership. Thank you guys for all the great support over the weekend, all the Summer Game Fest coverage. It was really enjoyable. Technically, Super Mario 3 was turn-based if you think about it. What? In what way? Oh, you guys keep stepping on each other's toes. There's one from DK Bager, and then Stinker Boy Ani puts it to 41. So a 10 bomb would both hit the 50 and surpass the 50. Everybody likes to be that agent of chaos. Well, you can do a 2 for 1. Let's see. A race to the 10 bomb. Race to the 10 bomb. Mario and Luigi took turns, right? You play as Mario and Luigi? Super Mario 3 has nothing in it that's turn-based. I don't understand what you're saying at all. I'm trying to think, are there even mini games? Oh, it's a bad pun. Is he making a joke? The frick? How many VIP subs for Creature and Lono to play Super Meat Boy? You would need a lot of people to upgrade. You'd need I think you'd need 20-something people to upgrade. I don't even remember where we are right now. I can tell you. I might be thinking of 2. Creature, I don't know what you're thinking of. There is a game that is turn-based called Super Mario RPG. Super Mario 1, 2, and 3, there's nothing turn-based about them at all. I'm not sure what you're thinking of. You've got another game in your head, I think. I mean it. I think you've got another game in your head. Because Super Mario 1, 2, and 3, there's nothing turn-based about them. I'm making a joke, but I'm being serious about the map. Takes turns on what you're going to play on the map, whether it's a mission or a mini-game. I don't remember how they did it in Super Mario 2. I don't remember it being anything like that. VIP count is 313. You guys need 37 people to upgrade if you want him and I to play a game together. You guys know what's it called? Jump King? There's a co-op version of Jump King. I forget the name of it. We'll play something like that if you guys could get us to 350. I don't think you're going to get that many people to upgrade to VIP today. That would be record-breaking upgrades. You need 37 people to upgrade. Finally got the confirmation email. If you had a pending charge but never got the confirmation email, told you on the site, wait, it should hopefully come through regarding Spider-Man 2. I mean, my account has the order on it when I go to the website. I've got my PlayStation thank you for your order email right here. Yeah, I have my confirmation email as well. I got it. What's the timestamp on this? I got mine 40 minutes ago from Sony. Yeah. Yeah, I need to upgrade the command. We're at 313 VIP. So you guys would have to make a mad dash run. That's been a slower process. You guys go crazy with gifteds. You guys go absolutely bonkers with gifteds, but the VIP thing is very different. Okay, let me get let me get the everything ready for the call with Mike. Okay. 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 All right, you there, Mike?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Give me 1 second. I gotta change my camera.
2 was the unofficial Mario game. It was all a dream. All the enemies look different. World looks different. No Bowser. Yeah. Yeah, the turn-based... We got on this subject because of the turn-based in Super Mario RPG. Okay. All right.
All right. I'm good.
Okay. I will give you guys a link in just a second. We'll be switching gears here to a new stream. Okay. Yo, Brain Eclipse, welcome as a VIP. I mean, if you guys want to make a run for it, you have to use the upgrade command, though. All right, let me get you... I got to switch the thumbnail on the Lords of the Fallen stream. Okay.
What's going on, chat? What's going on, buddy? I heard you you saw the wizard behind the curtain.
What? In Diablo?
Yeah. I use the analogy of like Wizard of Oz. Once you see the wizard, it doesn't become great and powerful anymore. You're just the guy behind the curtain. You saw Diablo and you're bored the hell out of it. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I will. I'll break it down. I got 3 sections. I got 3 sections for the talk show. And we want to have that debate with y'all. I want people to bring it. There we go. Thanks for putting us to 42, Henry. I'll do all the ones I owe you guys in the next stream. You're almost to 50. Google's taking my money now. Hopefully. And the only way you don't see this. Content creator, Starfield is coming September 6th. You can apply to be considered for the Premium Edition game code, including early access.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Oh, it's Keymailer.
Yeah.
Okay. I've covered it a lot, so we'll see what they say. All right, I'm sending out the tweet, and then we're going to switch gears. Guys, when we switch gears, make sure when we get over to the stream, you guys smash the like button. I do the segment with Mike on Fridays, and we always struggle with likes on Friday because I can't bring it up. It's like super disruptive to the show. I've mentioned it very, very infrequently. Bring your debate points. We want to hear from you. Okay. All right, chat. I'm going to put a link in the chat. You can use that to head to the new stream. Make sure when we get over there, you guys go crazy with the like button. I'm also going to redirect you, and that'll bring you with us. Make sure and smash the like button on this Lords of the Fallen stream on your way out. We can easily hit 300 likes before we leave this stream. All right, here we go.
The wrong one.
Thanks so much for checking out another segment. Every week I sit down with a discussion for both the live chat as well as my good friend 30 and Still Gaming. I am bored with Diablo 4. I stopped playing already. I anticipated putting a lot of time into this game, and I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about why I might have been wrong about the seasonal format and its appeal to me, but I also want to talk about, I think I was right. I don't necessarily know if this game was ready for prime time. We got kind of like a bunch of different topics and points to talk about in this game. Mike's been playing a bunch, and we want to hear from you. If you're in the live chat, bring your comments, your super chats, your gifted members, and we will include you into the discussion. I'm going to end the previous stream talking about how I think Lords of the Fallen could be the future of the Souls-like genre.